Welcome back to the Monday Magnets. I'm joined by Caden McDonald, and Caden McDonald only because Will Taylor has called us late last night and said, guys, I'm out.
Well, across the last few weeks he's been late.
Yeah.
And now he's just pulled out. So you got to question his ticker. You got to question his commitment to the craft. No, he had something come up, which is fair. So it's just me and you, Baz, ripping into a pretty ordinary round of footy.
It feels like back in 2021 in the Controversies studios where I jumped on. I was on the Jack Ginnivan episode.
Well, didn't that just start a little snowball effect?
That was like, I was so bad. I don't know why. Sammy Bonza or something, who was semi-producing the show, did they just come up with an idea that they wanted someone else for flow or something?
No. So back in the Goes Alright days, on Spotify original, that I tried to get the RSS feed off and I couldn't get that off the big conglomerate. Yeah. But no, so I wanted to do pretty much what I'm doing now with Cados McCabe, where I just chat to people, and they wanted to break it up into almost like a Jimmy Fallon variety show.
Yeah.
And for the first 15 minutes of the show, they wanted me to speak by myself. And for the first couple of episodes, I would do it.
The monologue.
I was just they're like, just chat about what you're up to just by yourself. And there'd be like people in the office on laptops just listening, but no one would laugh at me. So I'd be making gags. No one would laugh. So then I said, Baz, the cameraman who's filming my behind the scenes vlog, which I'm putting out on my YouTube as a bit of extra content to get some listeners, I'm like, get him in. So that's how we got you in on air.
Well, not a good decision.
Well, it saved me from talking to myself for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it might have helped you, but I reckon I said like 3 words like every couple of minutes just to like, oh yeah, that's good. And what about this?
Yeah.
Like sort of thing. Like
and the funny thing is you were so far
away
off
from
mic and off camera. Every time you talk, I'd like lean forward and be like, what are you saying?
I was like a good 7 meters away.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Not conducive
it's
to
not like
chemistry.
This. Like you probably can't see it here, but we're
close.
a meter.
We could touch toes if we
leg to leg, probably a meter.
Yeah.
Anyway, this round of football sucked eggs. Like, I'm not telling fibbies. It sucked. It really sucked. I think on the last game of the round was Giants North, and that was probably pick of the bunch.
Yeah.
7-point margin. The next, then it was Freo Carlton on Saturday night.
Yeah, but that looks closer than what it was. I guess it was close for 3 quarters, but
Carlton came back.
Yeah, Freo got it to 40 points in the last quarter, so that was almost another garbage result.
Carlton were never going to win, but they just kicked a couple at the end.
Yeah, they kicked a few, I think 5 in a row late to make it look somewhat close.
And then the next biggest margin was 30 points, Port Adelaide at home, which to be fair, big win for Port Adelaide to get over the Cats.
Yeah.
I know it's at home and they're travelling, but...
No, 100%. Well, Port Adelaide are garbage and the Cats are doing what Geelong do normally, but that is a weird result because the way it sort of transpired... I don't know, like some of the shows throughout the last couple of days have been like, is this a bit of a watch on Geelong? And I'm like, yeah, like after that result, you'd think, have they lost a little bit of drive or passion?
They've been good.
But they just beat the Doggies by 80.
Yeah.
And they were the best team in the comp a week ago. So I don't know. It was a very strange result.
I don't know if they had any out before the game.
Yeah, they did. Apparently they lost De Koning, and then in-game they lost the Blitz, so some of their key...
De Koning says he lined up.
Oh, maybe he did. Maybe I'm fibbing. They lost a couple of tolls, I think.
But Blitz went down early, which is a big hit to you generally, I think. Blitz is pretty important to how they play.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago when Team Mitch was on the pod, you were talking about the D's and how you think their season's going to pan out. I don't know if that was after they beat the Suns, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but when was that? Was that it?
Or the Lions?
Maybe it was the Lions.
Maybe the Suns. It was the Suns.
It was a bit earlier, but you said, I reckon we're just going to be this sort of team that, you've obviously beat the Tigers this week by a fair margin, but you mix it with the top and get beaten by...
Susceptible.
And it didn't make sense because I'm like... If you're gonna be that good against Brizzy, how can you lose to West Coast?
Yeah. Well, I'll explain that.
But you're right.
Yeah, well, because if you are a 9th or 10th team, you're actually not that far from 4th or 3rd, but you're actually not that far from 16th. So when you are a middle-of-the-road team, the bottom 6 can get you, but you can get the top 6. And I just think that that's where the D's sit. Like, we're inconsistent in quarters, we're inconsistent in games. We're going to be inconsistent across the season. But I think our best can take scalps, and I think our worst will be very embarrassing.
I haven't seen Cozzy probably put a game like that together in a couple of years, I don't reckon. Like, that was ridiculous. Like, I know he does spectacular things every single week, but he had 4 and 30.
Yeah, that was crazy. He did that a couple of times last year where he kicked 5 out in the midfield, but he only got like 22, 23. Yeah. So to get it to 29, kick 4, take mark of the year, and yeah, he was the difference. It was like, could the Tigers stop Cozzy? Could they stop Gawn? And ultimately they couldn't stop Coz, and that was the difference in the result. Shattered for Jai Cully.
Yeah.
It's his second ACL in his career. He's a weirdly important part of the team.
He's been good for you guys, eh?
Well, because he's a 194-centimetre wingman, and we love our wingman tall because Langford's on the wing at the moment and he's really tall. So they're almost like a kick-out option to take a mark. They mark really well across the ground, and then they get up and back, and he's got an amazing running capacity. So works so hard to etch himself in the 23, and to go down is just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, feel for the man. Definitely feel for the man. But that was a big win for the D's, and they're going to... I just feel like they're well placed to make a 10.
We're 4th at the moment.
Well, yeah. Incredible.
Fraudulent 4th.
We're
not going to be there for long, but that is ridiculous. I could never have imagined that we'd be 5 and 2. But we have the Swans this week on Sunday.
Where?
At the SCG. Brody Grundy's 250th. They've got Simon Goodwin as an assistant coach. I feel like when a senior coach goes to a different team, the team they leave never wins. Like, I don't know. I feel like when a team grabs a coach, they get the IP. So that's a big challenge.
Well, speaking of the Swans,
the biggest challenge in football.
They are fucking hot at the moment. Like, I didn't think they were going to be this good this year either. But they are pairing. Again, the Dogs are weak. The Dogs are weak at the moment, and they're going to be weak for the rest of the season. And we saw Norton go down. Disgusting fall.
He's not concussed.
How? Oh, neck. It was a neck.
I think he landed on his shoulder. Like, I think the impact landed on the shoulder, and then the neck bent. But he didn't suffer a concussion.
Just looked.
His head nearly popped off.
Oof. Looks like a horror movie, man. Not good, but actually before, and I'm sure a couple of other people in the media were speaking about this as well, but before this game, you know, the whole AFL world's talking about Darcy going down. Dogs aren't a chance anymore because Darcy goes down. I was like, all right, well, yeah, Darcy's amazing. He's so good, but they've got options there. Like, they've got options at key forward. They've got big boys down there. Norton last year was awesome, and then you lose him, and you've lost Ugelhagen. And English is going, like, it is...
Yeah, their tall stocks have copped a hit.
Real hit. So, Swans win by 70 points odd, and are looking like the yardstick at the moment. Freo also look good. Hawthorn also look good. And the Dogs, who were probably at the top of the pack early season, first 3 rounds, have fallen to 10th.
Well, the Dogs have now copped enormous defeats to the Cats, to the Swans. They're now becoming uncompetitive after being the best team in the first 5 rounds. It's crazy.
They've lost to good teams, though.
But a lot.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really blame them, but this is a massive...
It's back-to-back 70-point losses.
It's a drastic fall-off.
So, and the Cats didn't have Danger, or did he play last week, got managed this week?
I'm going to say they didn't have Danger.
They did have Danger.
Okay.
My bad. But outside of this game, there was more blowouts. And it sucked because it's Anzac round. And usually we just have ball bursters all around this fixture of the year. So there was that Thursday night fixture, Dogs Swans. There was the D's on the Friday. And then you go Saturday. And on paper, Hawks Suns.
Box office.
Yeah, serious. Yeah. And another 50-point margin. Suns
are sliding. They were premiership favourites after 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And now they can't compete with some of the better teams. I loved, a couple of weeks ago, D's got the scalp against the Suns. And now, like, they've only beaten, I think it's like 16th, 17th and 9th. And then they've lost to all the good teams. They're looking a bit fakey.
Fakey as?
Yeah.
Is it a chemistry sort of thing?
Well, I saw on one of the shows last night, they were saying the Gold Coast Suns are basically a team of first and second round draft picks, and they were comparing Gold Coast to Richmond when Richmond won all their flags, and Richmond had maybe 8 of the best players in the comp.
Yeah.
Their core was as good as it gets.
Rewalt.
And then around it, you had like mature age VFL players that knew that they had to play a role for Dusty. And what Joey Montagna was saying about the Suns last night was the Suns are just first and second round draft picks. So there's not many like role players. Like, is Bailey Humphrey willing to sacrifice his game for Petrarca?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he is, because I think he is Petrarca. So it's like,
yeah,
they're all superstars. Are they playing selfless footy? And that was a pretty, I don't know, an intriguing question to ask about the Gold Coast Suns.
That is intriguing, yeah.
Yeah, not many Kane Lamberts running around.
No, not many, like...
None. They're all just guns.
Like, I don't know, like, the Mosquito Fleet, Castagna, like, you've never seen a more cohesive small forward unit that just played on system, and I do rate that.
Yeah,
that call, Joey. Well done, Joseph. But
they're so talented that, like, you just look at them and you go, surely it works with all that talent, but maybe the balance is a bit off. I'm not sure.
Anderson came back this week. Track had 28. Anderson had 31, and then you go and look at Rowley, who had 18.
You can stop Rowley sometimes.
Well, my point in this is, like, Track's a killer, obviously. He needs to hit the scoreboard though if he's going to be that. He had 0.
He should probably go more forward.
Probably if you're gonna like.
But then Humphrey just floats around. It's like you've got.
It's a weird mix, actually.
Got too many.
Yeah,
too many chefs.
Petrarca, Anderson combined for 60. Rowley goes 18. Noble out of the back line usually racks it up. He had 20 something. Yeah, weird mix. Took Miller only had 21. Maybe they can't get into a groove.
Yeah, they've got a couple of new players. I guess maybe they're finding their zone or their system. I'm not sure, but
not one goal from Petrarca, Anderson, Rowell, or Miller.
Yeah, wow. And Nick Watson's kicking 2 out of the midfield.
Probably need one.
Jack Guns. Yeah, I'm glad. I thought we weren't going to touch on him, but 5 goals, 4. Binned him into the wind from 55 out. Like, he's on track for 100, I think.
How many? So who in the competition right now would you, on face value, want to do a goal kicking challenge with? It feels like Gunny
would be good.
Would be right up there. I don't know about value to the camera.
He's probably the toughest opponent, though, wouldn't he be?
He just slots everything.
He slots them all. Yeah, Gunston would be up there. I can't believe... I saw a tweet and it's like, Jack Gunston's my favourite one club player that's played at 3 clubs.
Gunny. He was at the Crows?
Started at the Crows for 2 years and then left, won their best young player. And then
Did he?
Yeah, then left that season. And then obviously went to Brisbane for 12 months. So he's played at 3 clubs, but he just feels like Hawthorn through and through.
So obviously I know he played for the Crows. I didn't know he actually played meaningful minutes for the Crows, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got voted like best young player, and then he departed.
I'm just getting up AFL tables here.
The Brisbane stint's confusing.
Yeah. Well, you thought he was done. So
he was close to being done.
Turning back the curtain, taking the jokiness out of it. His dad passed away around that period.
Yeah, he did.
And then I think that he was at the Hawks.
Yeah, and the Hawthorn era was closing.
Yeah, well, it seemed like it was.
And then he was on the back end of his career. So maybe it was like almost do a Birchall or a Hodge, go up to Brisbane, they're competitive, get a fresh start. What I like is it clearly didn't work for him personally, and like Brisbane and Hawthorn, like they didn't stand in the way of organising him getting back. Like it was like, okay, like we...
Respect for a vet.
Yeah. And then it's crazy how many people are playing some of the best footy post-30. Like Hawkins' best part of his career was post-30.
Lockie Neal just had 45 or something.
Yeah, Gunston, Mason Cox was on fire.
He was good. He was good. Yeah, I agree. Well, it's just turning into a different game, which we're saying.
Yeah.
And you can just keep going for years and years, which I'm sure Tommy Mitchell's frustrated with. But,
The timing.
Lockie Neal's 32. He's been talking about he's not that far away from finishing, but like you're going out and having 45 touches, and that's
Pendles?
career high disposals.
Yeah.
Career high, like outrageous. That was that goal at the end. Kick too.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Jack Gunston played a total of 14 games across 2 years at the Crows, and in his second season he played 12 and kicked 19. So that's okay. That's fair. I don't know if it's best young player.
Yeah, well, he was apparently.
I wonder who else was there. Kurt Tippett?
Danger?
Sloaney?
Nah, Danger would have been a bit older.
Nah.
Yeah,
2011 he would have been there.
Yeah, would have been there, but he wouldn't be competing with best young player. Danger would have been.
Oh yeah, he would have. He'd be
22.
Yeah. Oh.
23.
We're on fire. Just back on the D's.
Yes.
We did our piece of the week last week, and Latrell Pickett won. Tails isn't in to give us the response, but we did get a response from Trelly. Good man, Trell. We've got a couple of... We're a bit worried about piece of the week because Tails is our...
voice memo man.
He is. And I don't know... Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Would you do it on ball magnets? Was that weird?
It is weird. But I mean, yeah.
It's a weird concept. It's almost funner when Tails takes the reins.
Well, he loves it. Doesn't he?
He probably does it in his spare time.
Yeah. I think he just follows everyone he possibly can in hopes that one of them wins piece of the week. Oh, shit.
And they do.
Yeah, well, it's all up to if they're following. Who are you looking at for piece of the week, man?
I'm going to go Shea Bolton.
Shea Bolton.
Yeah, he's starting to get that 2020 form back.
Yeah.
Freo obviously got him, paid a big price, and with Shea Bolton, he can sometimes look like, I don't know, just a run-of-the-mill medium forward. But everyone knows that at his best, he's like so damaging and like one of the best forward/mids in the comp. And we're starting to see it this year, I reckon. And I reckon he's dragging Freo with him a little bit. 2 goals, 33 disposals. Just unbelievable output. Like, he's a superstar.
He is turning into a superstar. It looks like he's just maturing a little bit, like, as a person, and that's transverting to good football.
Yeah, he looks comfortable.
He does
really
look comfortable.
comfortable.
Mine for this week is Josh Lindsay. He's a young fella that
I love Josh Lindsay.
Turning it up in Perth. And he's gone and had 31. Is that a record for him?
Yep, career high.
Career high.
Off the half back line. It was in the back line a lot for the West Coast Eagles.
A lot of uncontesteds.
Well, it's just down there a lot. They lost by 100.
Yeah,
so,
but impressive. Like 31 is no mistake. You're not going and getting 30 of them by mistake unless you're Connor Rogers off the plane from Panama.
yeah.
And just on that, we played footy. Dossie played his first game for the Div 12 Rezzies across the weekend. That's why you might be seeing a little cut on my lip here because I got into a bit of a biff. And
calling people losers.
I was calling. Yeah, well, I got one yellow carded, Dos.
Yeah.
I got him sent off.
Sucked
for a
him
bit.
in.
Yeah, I did suck him in. It was good. Well, not for him, but he apologised post game. Didn't he?
He was a good bloke post game, I thought.
Well, he came up and he dapped me
On
up.
field, I was like, this guy's a hothead. After the game, I was having a yarn. It was good. How funny. That's football, isn't it?
Well, I
That's
just went
local
up to him and shook his hand. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
You got yellow carded, so I win. You guys won the game, but I win. But, yeah, and I look tough. Don't I?
What were you saying about Rog?
Well, just if you're going to getting 30 plus, it's no mistake.
Yeah. Well,
unless you're Connor Rogers off the plane from Panama.
Yeah. Josh Lindsay, smooth moving, left footer, silky skills. They've drafted pretty well. Cooper Duff Tytler. Who was the other one in the middle? Oh, Dersma. And then Josh Lindsay. That was their crop. So it's cool to see him blossom.
Do you want to send one?
I'll send one.
All right, cool.
Well, I'll go Lindsay because we got some rapport. A couple of Geelong boys.
Yeah, go to done.
JL, Cados here. On the Ball Magnets podcast, the Monday Magnets. Will Taylor's not here this morning, so apologies for that. But you have won this week's Piece of the Week from me and Baz.
Well done, Joshy. Great effort,
We're giving
mate.
it out to blokes who probably don't get the acknowledgement they deserve, but 31 touches in a pretty difficult day at Marvel Stadium. It's your breakout game. It's your first of many, and you're just a silky, smooth left footer, and we absolutely love you here at the Monday Magnets.
Mate, we absolutely love that performance. What I am just going to ask you for just next week, just one tackle. Just one tackle for me, JL. But, mate, 31 disposals. That is no mistake. Great effort and really uplifting the Coasters at the moment.
Yeah, you don't need tackles when you're having 30 and taking the piss. Another great Geelong product out of Caden's Coaching Academy. So you smashed it, mate. And, keep it up. Hopefully you're enjoying life over in the West.
Well done, JL. Justin Langer.
Justin Longmire.
Justin Longmire. Well done. Hopefully we get a response. It probably won't be by the end of the potty, but...
well, what is it, 6 a.m. over there or whatever?
True. Didn't think about that. Well, they played here. Did that? Maybe they flew back.
Sure, yeah. Well, there's a red eye from Perth to Melbourne. I don't know if there's a red eye from Melbourne.
I'm sure there is. But fuck.
Red eye would be fun, I reckon.
No, because no one's on the plane? Or?
Yeah, well, it's just like late and dark, and I assume you sort of dip in and out of sleep, and then all of a sudden you wake up, you're at Tullamarine, you're back in the city of dreams.
Well, I want to just go back to the last game of the round. Yesterday was Giants North, because there was a very controversial decision. Were you watching?
Mate, I was watching. I was versing the top player in Supercoach draft, Liam Van Gemst.
Did it come down to the last?
We both had two players on the field, and it was completely even. He had Caleb Daniel. I had George Wardlaw.
Wow.
I turn it on, and I'm up by 4 points at halftime. George Wardlaw does his ankle and has to get his ankle re-strapped in the third. Caleb Daniel had 12 touches in the third quarter. I lost by about 15 points. Against top of the ladder. It was heartbreaking.
Demoralising stuff. But it can't be as demoralising as the loss to North Melbourne, because they lose by 7 points. And the dramas with Griffin Logue.
Well, he touched it.
He bloody touched it. What is it? What's going on with the Arc, man?
The AFL's a bit embarrassing.
It is
often.
embarrassing.
Like...
Every week for the last 3 weeks, there is a genuine embarrassment.
Very consistently embarrassing. They do things all the time. It's a farmers league. It is local footy with better cameras. Apparently, I was watching the Fox footage. I hate when they go to the Arc and maybe there's 1 or 2 chances for it to be touched and they keep focusing on one of them. And I go, I'm sitting there going, I'm like, go back.
What are you doing?
Go back to the earlier. Anyway, when Fox put that one up, I heard one of the commentators say, this is our cameras, the Arc don't have access to this one. So why don't the Arc have access to the crystal clear HD camera? So the Arc would have just seen some blurry one, stared at it for 5 minutes and been like, we've got nothing. Well, Fox is showing it being touched.
That's real frustrating.
So stupid.
Really.
And it cost the Roos the game.
It did, but what was absolutely hilarious that I haven't seen anyone pick up on it yet is something in our household is brigand, and you know, this is just cultural. People say it, it's not just us that say it, but in our house this term gets used a hell of a lot, whether it's in sport, which is where it comes from, or in general life, a bit of karma, if you will. We say ball don't lie. And that essentially means, you know, if it comes from basketball, and if someone flops or something and you get a foul called, they go to the line and they miss both free throws. Ball don't lie. So Griffin Logue touches, he knows he's touched the ball. He knows it. He called it straight away and we see that he touched the ball. They called a goal, back to the centre. I think Sheasel storms out of the stoppage.
Well, Wardlaw got the handball because I was watching him on Supercoach.
Yeah. Storms out of stoppage and kicks one from the 50, straight down the middle. Cuts to Griffin Logue, and I don't think anyone realised, he's mouthing, ball don't lie. Ball don't lie.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's elite.
And me and Vinny had said it right before, and we look at each other and we're like,
that's great.
It was unbelievable. So I'll clip that up and we'll chuck that on social, and if this doesn't go viral, then...
Ball does lie.
Nothing will.
Yeah.
How did you go yesterday, though? The Div 12 debut for the year.
Yeah. I went how I expected to go. I can't run because I haven't done any training. And confidence, at an all-time low. When we used to train with the 1s and 2s and we do competitive drills, we do drills in the box where there's 3-on-4 and you're pinging the ball around, you're in tight confinement. You get used to the footsteps and the noise and the pressure, and you sort of get used to how much time you've got. Yeah, out there a little bit, just shitting yourself, just going I don't know if someone's near me. I don't have the confidence just yet, but was fun to run around with the boys. It's hilarious what we do. I don't know. I just laugh at what we're running around all mates in the same team. It's pretty funny, but How'd you go?
Yeah, I was okay. I was fine. I had a couple of tackles.
You got around it.
A couple of turnovers going forward.
We're just always a shit team this time of year. Every year in the first 4 rounds, we are disconnected, unfit, shit, and then we build throughout the year.
And then we turn it on.
So
and
it's
then we
just
win 7 in a
frustrating.
row.
Yeah, it's frustrating that we just have to get through this little patch, get belted by some of the better teams. And we can't crack during this time because sometimes during grading, we start nibbling at each other, start cracking the shit.
It's fun.
It's like we're all shit and slow. Who cares? We have to define what we're doing because yes, sometimes are we fun and shit or are we gonna try? And we get stuck between trying, but then taking the piss, and then we just get angry at each other.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun out there, guys.
We just get angry at each other.
But no, it was good to be back out there. We actually haven't touched on the fixture of Anzac Day.
Imagine if we had clocked off and not done that.
It would be embarrassing, and the clock has 4 minutes to go. Essendon versus Collingwood. But, like, the game just sucked. It was just a shocker.
Not for Pendles and Dacos.
No, but, like, 77 points. And
Essendon is such a horrible footy team.
it's just shit to watch. No one wants to watch them.
Do you see Ben Mackay clapping the defensive effort? No. Did you see that?
No.
I can't remember what quarter it was. Maybe the third. There's a big pack and he's standing underneath it. And I think Jackson Pryor, I might be getting the names wrong, but someone cuts across and does a massive like golden fist. And Ben Mackay, like as the pack just sort of drops around him, starts clapping, going like, great defensive effort. And he's sort of clapping to no one. But the ball didn't go out into the audience. It goes high, sort of drops near Ben Mackay. Angry Anderson picks it up and puts it through for a goal. And everyone's like, is he a space cadet? Like he's on 1.2 mil. He's meant to be like one of their great leaders. And he just switches off, starts clapping, and then behind him they're kicking a goal. It was crazy.
They got Zachy Johnson, who I don't know if he's been playing recently, but I'm a massive Zach Johnson guy.
Well, yeah. Blackerstone's meant to be a key defender, but he's been rucking for them. He's had to ruck.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ruck stocks at the moment. Dwindling.
Pendle's unbelievable. Nick Dacos. It was another occasion where Nick Dacos gets, 42, but someone else gets 43.
Yeah.
It's like he gets 38 Brownlow votes and breaks the record, but someone else gets 45 Brownlow votes.
Yeah.
But he has an unbelievable season, should win the BNF, but Darcy Cameron, he's just always second on things. I just feel for him.
Yeah. I mean, look, individual awards it's not the end of the world. But he'll probably care about it deep down.
It's just ridiculous. Pendle's pulled that out.
This will be the last one for us before we wrap it up, but I don't know if this is the right person to bring this up to, seeing as though you're a D's diehard nuffy. But in our household, in the Will Taylor, Vinny Briganti, Dante Briganti, Bailey McCabe household, something that's come up recently, which I just can't get my head around personally. It's not that I don't rate Cozzy. Obviously, I rate Cozzy. He's a freak. But we've had Riley Onley from the D's coming over. He comes over every couple of weeks and gets his hair cut. And him and Vinny have a love affair with Cozzy Pickett.
Yep.
And their argument to me is Cozzy Pickett is better per disposal than Nick Dacos. And that argument, I'm like, what does that mean? What do you mean? Because like, what are you trying to say? That saying, oh yeah, Nick Dacos is a better player, but Cozzy's better per disposal doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. Like, what they're trying to say.
Do you want them to say that he's a better, stand on the business?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, don't have the caveat. Either say it or don't.
Well, saying that means nothing to me.
Yep.
Because, Cozzy's gone out on the weekend. He's had 29 and kicked 4. That's great. But, like, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Do you think Cozzy is in the top 5 now?
Mate,
in 2026 right now, top 5 plays in the comp.
Potential.
I think
if I thought about it and wrote, maybe.
I think because people are starting to compare him to Heaney, Dacos and Bont, but in the case of Bont and Dacos, they've done it for 4 years. So you just need to see it a bit more consistently from Cos. The thing that Cos has that those others don't is he's got
breakaway speed and
he's got
X factor.
So he's got tricks that they don't have.
They've all got X factor.
Yeah, but like he can take like genuine contested marks.
He
like
also hits packs at pace, like genuine pace.
He can kick goals.
Yeah.
Like he can't be tackled. Like he has things that they don't. He just has to do it more consistently. But it's crazy what he's doing.
So like I understand because he's a freak. I don't think he's better than Nick Dacos. So that argument doesn't really make sense to me. Nick Dacos had 42 and kicked 0-4.
Yeah.
So imagine, do you know what I mean? What would you say they're trying to say? Because I understand he's dynamic as around the footy, and when he gets it, anything can happen. I understand that. But I just don't really... What do they mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't really seem like an argument to me.
Yeah, I can understand
saying.
it doesn't. In my head, I can see, like, often Nick Dacos will start generating plays from the back line. Like, he'll start getting busy with a handball around the back, and then he'll give one to someone standing still to get the second handball to try and generate their flow.
Cozzy was doing that a fair bit as well.
But I feel like whenever I see Cos get the ball, it's like he'll crumb it out of the middle. It's bobbling around. He turns something out of nothing, and it does feel a bit more impactful. Like sometimes Dakes can just accumulate, but he can impact as well. So yeah, that is a very interesting argument.
Because Cozzy's not better than Nick Dacos yet.
Yeah.
So by saying that,
yeah,
just doesn't really mean anything for mine.
Fair enough.
Especially when like Nick will get, whether he gets 10 more disposals than Cozzy each week on average.
Yeah. And
Cozzy will have 25 and they'll be effective, but Nick will have 45.
Yeah.
Anyway, just doesn't make much sense to me. But is there anything else you want to wrap up the pod on? I don't want to be negative towards Cozzy. He's a fucking gun, but
I love witnessing what the man's doing. Yeah. So wrap the pod. We just need Tails back. Like it's just well, it was actually just a cracking show without him, so it's not looking good for his longevity.
No. All good, Dossie. Well, thanks for another Monday morning. That's in the books. We'll see you next week for another round review on the Monday Mags.